Hi everybody. I'm here to talk about levels of organization, and this is an example that I've done. All of you in either partners or small groups are going to be coming up with your own example for levels of biological organization to think about what is living in an area and both the biotic and the abiotic components. Remember, biotic is things that are alive or recently dead, and abiotic is never been living. If you don't have your groups yet, you will get those soon from your teacher. Okay, so first of all, we pick a biome, and a biome is just a general category that's typically defined by the amount of rainfall or precipitation. You see that on the y-axis here, and the average temperature, which is on the x-axis here. There's a variety of biomes all throughout the world, and the one I picked is the tropical rainforest. So this map over here, the world map, shows in green all the different areas of tropical rainforest. So tropical rainforest is hot and really wet as compared to like savanna or desert. That should be desert, not dessert. Sorry about the misspelling. Didn't notice that till just now. Savannas and deserts, which are still hot but have much lower precipitation, or like where we live here, the deciduous forest or the big woods forest, which has an average amount of rainfall or snowfall every year, average amount of precipitation, and a medium temperature. Tundra is like way far northern Canada, Alaska, Siberia, places like that. Boreal forest is pretty much across the northern part of the US and all the way up into Canada. And so you can pick any biome you like. You could also decide with your group to pick a favorite plant or animal and work backward to the biome they live in and then work your way down. That's what I did. So let's wait and see what animal I pick. So the biome I picked was the tropical rainforest, and again, that's a general category spread throughout the whole earth. So I had to narrow down to a more specific area. So an ecosystem are all the abiotic and biotic components. So that still includes water and rocks and sand and all that geology, but it also includes all the living things. And the ecosystem I picked is the tropical rainforest on the Osa Peninsula in Costa Rica. That's on the far southwest side. And I've done research here, so that's why I picked it. It's somewhere I'm familiar with. So you can pick something that you find really interesting or something you're familiar with. Okay, now we have to narrow down even more to community. And community are only the biotic organisms in the rainforest, but it's how all of them interact together. And so this is just a small snippet on the Osa Peninsula of all the communities, but there's spider monkeys and macaws, and these are called bromeliads. They're plants that grow on other plants. They're the kind of spiky things coming up. And this is a passion flower, Passiflora in Spanish. This is called a leaf cutter ant, and they cut leaves and then they actually grow fungus on the leaf. It's really cool. And this is a coati. It kind of fills the same role as a raccoon. And then a red-eyed tree frog. And there's tons more animals that live there and tons more plants, but I just picked a small snippet. You don't have to have everything, just a few. Okay, and then we narrowed down to a population of red-eyed tree frogs. And so a population is individuals of the same species in the same place, but multiple of them. So multiple red-eyed tree frogs. I want you to note too, I am putting the URL underneath all of my pictures. So I'm citing my pictures by putting the URL underneath. Okay, and then we've got an organism, a single red-eyed tree frog. Okay, just one red-eyed tree frog. And then within the red-eyed tree frog, they have a circulatory system. So I picked an organ system, and that's their lungs and heart kind of work together to deliver oxygen and nutrients to their body. And then I picked a specific organ, the heart, which I circled in red. And amphibians have a 3-chambered heart. So that's different from us with a 4-chambered heart. And we'll learn about that much later in the school year. Okay, so that's the organ that I picked. Then I picked tissue, cardiac tissue, and do your best with this. Tissues and all the levels going down might be a little more challenging. Ask your teacher for help. Okay, cardiac tissue is your heart muscle tissue. Okay, and I actually was able to find a specific picture of frogs. It might be harder for you to find it from your specific organism, and so just do the best you can, and again, ask your teachers. And if you have to find something a little more generic, like generic cardiac tissue, it won't be the end of the world. Okay, and then I was able to find a frog heart cell, and again, very hard. So do your best here of finding the best you can with a specific picture. So I circled in red one single cell, and then within the cell, an organelle is the mitochondria. And we're going to learn about that soon. Mitochondria help your cell gather, and process energy. That's one organelle within the cell. And then a molecule in it is ATP. That's short-term energy storage. And again, we will learn about this later on this term. And so those are my levels of biological organization. And that's how, just one example of from very, very broad with biomes all the way down to this little tiny compound that's like a little battery that helps us and frogs and trees and all living things with energy. It's ATP. So thank you very much for listening, and ask your teacher if you have questions. Bye.